talk about the use of the question mark. We all know that at the end of a question, we must use a question mark, but not at the end of all questions. It depends on how the question has been posed. So if it is a direct question, we will put a question mark at the end. Let's take a look at an example. Use the question mark at the end of all direct questions. So, an example, aren't you the one who plays the role of the detective in the movie? So this is a direct question. We must put a question mark at the end of it. Aren't you Susan? Aren't you the girl I met yesterday? These are all direct questions. Now let's look at another type of question, the tag question. Use the comma to separate the tag question. So if you have a question just added at the end of a sentence, then that's the tag or an add-on question. Then we definitely need to have a question mark at the end. Let's take a look. She comes from Ohio. So this part is a statement. Doesn't she? So now I have added a question element to the statement. This is known as a tag question. So we do need a question mark at the end of a tag question. We have met before, haven't we? This is also a tag question. We do need the question mark. So when should we not use a question mark at the end of a question? Well, when the question is an indirect question, we cannot use a question mark at the end. Let's take a look. Do not use the question mark for reported or indirect questions. Example, he asked me what I was doing here. So there's an element of a question here, but it's not a direct question. If it was direct, it would be, what are you doing here? Here it says, he asked me what I was doing here. So this is an indirect question. We have to end this with a period and not a question mark. Another example, she wanted to know if I was sleepy. So there is a question element, but it's an indirect question. So we end this indirect question with a period. Now, let's talk about a really important rule for the use of question mark. Sometimes when we pose a really long question, we get distracted and lost and we forget that actually we are posing a question. And we treat the whole long question as a statement. We forget to put the question mark. Now that could be a problem. Let's take a look at an example. So a really long sentence that is actually a question. Didn't she know that the cake, which was shaped like a heart, was obviously meant to convey his love for her, and that she was expected to have reacted in an appropriate manner to convey her true feelings for him? Now I've read it through and I've ended as if it was a statement. But here we have a question. We need a question mark here. Didn't she know that the cake was actually meant to convey her true feelings for him? So if I shorten the question, then I know that it is a pure question. It's a direct question. So that is why I have to use a question mark at the end. So be very careful with very long questions and then don't forget to put the question mark. Sometimes a question mark can be placed within a sentence. So I have an example here. Isn't this a cause for concern? I wondered. So now I can put a question mark in the middle. Now this is more a style of writing or a style of speaking, and this is more a rhetorical style. So isn't this a cause for concern? I wondered. It's correct. So we can use a question mark if we have used or posed a direct question in the middle of a sentence. So these are a few rules we have to keep in mind while dealing with the question mark.